13 Roads. Here is a tale I have not yet forgotten. Listen. Tonight it is a man in a coast town with a stack of unsold maps on the table between us. His name was Aelric. He was a cartographer. He sold a thing he did not understand, and the price of it was paid by other men, and he has known what he sold for 30 years now, and he has not stopped selling. I will tell you how he started, and what came in through his door, and what I asked him at the bar. There are 13 roads in this country, and each of them takes something different from the men who walk it. The Iron Road is the soldier's road, the high pass, the long climb, the road that takes the cloth and the names. Captains who march their companies up that road want one thing more than they want food or water or pay. They want the shorter way. They want a map that knows which switchback is a day and which is a week, and which path along the ridge will save them 7 nights walking, and which fold in the rock has a stream in it. Maps like that exist. They have always existed. Nobody alive can draw them. That is where Aelric comes in. Aelric was the third son of a family of map makers in the coast town of Ostry, which is 2 days south of the foot of the Iron Road and has been making maps for 200 years. His grandfather had drawn the harbour charts that were still hanging in the captain's offices. His father had drawn the trade road maps that the merchants carried in oilskin sleeves. His older brothers had taken over the shop. Aelric had been apprenticed at 12, and he was 24 the night I'm about to tell you about. And in those 12 years, he had learned to draw a coastline true, and a mountain pass passable, and a river mouth that a pilot could read in fog. He was good. He was not exceptional. That distinction is the one that broke him. In Ostry, there were 6 other map-making families, and 4 of them had a man in each generation who was exceptional, and Aelric was not that man in his. His brothers were not either, but his brothers had inherited the shop, and his brothers had the harbour work, and Aelric had a small room above a chandlery with a slanting table and a window that faced the alley, and he drew copies of his father's old maps for sailors who could not afford the originals. And he made, by his own count, he told me this himself, with the bottle between us, about 1/3 of what a fishmonger made. He had asked a woman to marry him. She had said, "Wait." He had been waiting 4 years. The captains who came into Ostry Harbour wanted the shorter way. They came up the gangplanks asking for it. They went from shop to shop in the mapmaker's quarter. They asked the brothers. The brothers shook their heads. They asked Aelric. Aelric shook his head. He told them what every honest mapmaker in Ostry told them, that the shorter ways along the Iron Road were not on any map any living man had drawn, that the men who had known them had not come back, and that a captain who paid for such a map paid for a fraud. The captains spat. The captains went back to their ships. The captains marched up the Iron Road by the long way, and some of them came down, and some of them did not. Aelric sat in his room above the chandlery, and he drew copies of his father's old maps. And he was 24, and he was waiting on a woman, and he was making 1/3 of what a fishmonger made. The old man came in on a wet night in the autumn. I will tell you about him carefully, because Aelric told me about him carefully. He came in without knocking. He shook the rain off the brim of his hat onto Aelric's floor. He did not apologize. He sat down on the stool opposite Aelric's drawing table without being asked, and he set on the table, between Aelric's hands and his own, a thing that looked like a ledger. It was bound in leather that had once been good and was now soft with handling. It was thick. It was closed. He did not introduce himself by name. He said, "I keep the inventory of what the roads take." Aelric asked what that meant. The old man said, "I keep an account, in this book, of every year and every name and every breath the 13 roads have removed from the men who walked them. I have kept it for a long time. I have entries that are older than your grandfather's grandfather. I have entries that are not yet written. The book is heavy because the roads are hungry." Aelric. And he told me this with a look on his face I have not been able to forget. Aelric did not laugh. He told me he should have. He told me that any man with sense would have. He said the old man's eyes did not allow it. The old man said, "I have a thing to offer you, mapmaker. I have, in this book, the shorter ways, every shorter way along every road, the fold in the rock with the stream, the switchback that saves the day, the ridge that saves the week. I will give them to you. You will draw them in your own hand, on your own paper, and you will sell them. You will become the cartographer the captains came looking for. You will become wealthy. The woman who is waiting will not wait." Elric asked the price. The old man said, "You sign your own name in your own ink." Elric said he did not understand. The old man took from a sleeve a small knife. He laid it on the table next to the ledger. He opened the ledger to a page that was empty except for a single line at the top in handwriting Elric did not recognize. He said, "Your own ink, your own vein. One line. Your name in your hand, signed by you on this page, and the maps are yours." Elric thought about the woman. He thought about the 4 years. He thought about the third son's room above the chandlery and the fishmonger's wages and his brothers downstairs in the shop on the harbour. He took the knife. He opened a vein in the meat of his left forearm, a small cut, the kind a man could close with a clean cloth in an hour, and he dipped the quill the old man handed him into his own blood, and he signed his name on the empty line on the empty page. The old man closed the ledger. The old man said, "Every map you sell takes a year off the buyer's life on the road." Elric stared at him. The old man said it again. He did not soften it. He said, "Every map you sell takes a year off the buyer's life on the road. I'm telling you now because the contract is signed and I am required to. I was not required to tell you before." Elric asked what that meant. He asked if it meant the buyers would die. The old man said, "In a manner. They will die at the hour they were going to die, but the last year of their life will not be lived. It will be in the book. They will arrive at the grave 1 year short of the years they were given. A man with 50 years on his span will have lived 49. He will not know. His wife will not know. The road will know, and I will know, and you will know." Elric tried to give the maps back. He pushed the ledger across the table. The old man did not take it. The old man said, "The contract is signed. The maps are yours. You will sell them or you will not sell them. That is between you and the year you are going to live." He stood up. He said, at the door, with his hat already on, "A man who has signed in his own ink does not unsign." He went out into the rain. Elric never saw him leave the alley. He went to the window. The alley was empty. The rain had not stopped. The ledger was still on the table. It was open now, to a different page, and the page was a map of a fold in the rock on the iron road, and the fold had a stream in it, and the stream had a name Elric had never heard. He sold the first map a week later. He told himself that first week that he would not. He sat in the room above the chandlery with the ledger in front of him, and he told himself the old man was a madman, and the maps were nonsense and the bargain was nothing. He copied one of the maps onto good paper in his own hand, the way a mapmaker copies. To test it, he told himself, only to test it. And he showed it to a captain in a tavern by the harbour, only to see what the captain would say. The captain wept. The captain wept because the captain had walked the iron road 3 times, and the captain knew the country on the map, and the captain knew the fold in the rock, and the captain knew that the stream Elric had drawn was a stream the captain had walked past in the dark 11 years before, and had not been able to find again in daylight. And the captain knew that the map in front of him was the map he had been buying frauds of his entire life. And the map in front of him was true. The captain paid Elric for the map. The captain paid him a year's wages. The captain went up the iron road the next month, and the captain came down, and the captain came back to Elric's shop, and the captain bought another. Elric sold maps for 30 years. He moved out of the room above the chandlery in the 2nd year. He bought a shop on the harbour in the 4th. He bought the chandlery itself in the 7th. He married the woman in the 3rd. She did not wait the full 4, and she bore him 2 children, and the children grew up in a house with 3 stories and a view of the masts. He became the cartographer. Captains spoke of him in ports he had never visited. Men came from the inland kingdoms and waited at his door for a week to be admitted. He drew, by the end, on paper imported from a country whose name his grandfather would not have recognized. With inks ground from stones a merchant brought him by the half-pound. He drew the shorter ways. Every map he drew was true. Every map he sold took a year. He did not tell anyone. He could not. The contract did not forbid it. The shame did. He told me, at the bar, that the first time he tried to tell his wife, he opened his mouth and could not make the words come. And he understood in that moment that the old man had not needed to forbid it, because a man who has signed in his own ink does not need to be forbidden. I met him in the spring of last year, in a tavern in a coast town 2 days south of where his shop had been. He was old. He was alone. He had moved out of the city. He told me this without my asking, because his wife had died, and his children had inherited the shop, and he could not bear to sit in the office where he had drawn for 30 years. He had taken a small house by the water. He had brought with him a stack of his own maps, unsold ones, drafts, copies he had made and never delivered. The maps were on the table between us. He asked me, without looking up, if I wanted one. He named a price that was 1/10 of what he had charged in the city. He said it as if the price were a kindness. I told him no. He asked me why. I told him. I told him about the old man, and the ledger, and the shorter ways, and the year off the buyer's life on the road. I told him as if I were telling him news. I told him as if I had heard it from a third party and was passing it on, the way a man passes on a thing he has heard about a man he does not know. He listened. He did not interrupt. When I had finished, he was quiet for a long time, and then he looked up at me and he said, "I did not know." He had known. I could see it on his face. I had been watching for it. He had known for 30 years. He said the words, "I did not know," the way a man says a line he has rehearsed in front of a mirror until the rehearsal is the truer thing than the truth. I did not call him on it. I did not need to. He knew that I knew. We sat at the bar with the maps between us, and the maps were beautiful, and the maps were accurate, and every one of them, if a man bought it, would take a year out of his life and put it in a book, in a sleeve, in a coat, in a ledger somewhere I have never seen. He poured me a drink. I drank it. He told me, before I left, that the old man had come back. He told me this last. He told me as if it were a thing he had not told anyone. He said the old man had come into the shop in the city 6 months before the wife had died, before he had moved to the coast, and the old man had set the ledger on the desk between them, and the old man had opened it, and the old man had said, "The book is full. Every man who has bought a map has lost his year. Every entry is written. Your debt is paid. You may stop." Aelric had asked if he was free. The old man had said, "You were free the day you signed." The contract bought the maps. It did not buy your hands. The old man had closed the ledger and gone out of the shop, and Aelric had sat at his desk for an hour, and then he had drawn another map. He has not stopped. He told me this at the bar, with the unsold maps in front of him and a half-finished one in a leather case at his feet. He told me he draws every day. He told me he sells when he can. He told me the maps are still accurate and the buyers still lose the year, even now, even after the book is full, because the contract was for the maps. and not for the ledger, and the maps are still his to make. I asked him why. He looked at me. He said, "I do not know how to be a man who does not draw maps." I left him at the bar. I did not buy a map. I do not know who he sold the next one to. I do not know how many he has sold since. I have walked the iron road. I have walked it the long way, because I will not buy the short. I have stood at the fold in the rock where the stream is, and I have drunk from the stream, and I have walked on, and I have given no year for the drink. The cartographer is still in the coast town. His shop is closed. His house is small. The maps are on his table. If you go through that town, you will see his sign. It is a small sign now, hand-painted, on the door of a house that is not a shop. And if you knock, he will let you in, and he will offer you a map at a price that sounds like a kindness, and he will not tell you the price. He will tell you he did not know. He has known for 30 years. I am telling you this so that if you ever sit across from a man with unsold maps on a table between you, and the maps are beautiful, and the price sounds like a kindness, you will know what the kindness costs. You will know whose ink the man signed in. You will know that the book is full and the hands are not. You will say no. You will say it the way I said it. You will not explain. He will know. I am telling you what I saw before I forget. Good night.